Hi, Nancy here from Tethered Treasures, and I'm back with another project share. This one comes from a clock that I created for the Frilly and Funky Challenge blog. I'm a design team member there. We created something to do with time or clocks. So I chose to use a Tim Holtz alterations clock. I covered it in gesso, and then I created a stain with re-inkers and perfect pearls. And I just put it all over the outside of the clock until it had this really old, kind of aged, distressed appearance. I love the way the outside and the inside turned out. I did the entire clock. Then I went about embellishing it. I created my own flowers, and I used two more Tim Holtz products. I used the Alterations Tattered Florals and the same Tattered Florals and movers and shapers to make all the flowers that are on this clock. I also used some Tim Holtz ephemera, the ephemera pack, which you can see here, the nest and eggs. That's what I used here on my clock. And I used another Tim Holtz product as well, and that was the spring greenery. I used that to create the ivy that's on my clock. And I also used another dye for my leaves, and that's a Magnolia Doohickeys rose leaf dye. The paper that I used to make my roses is the Vintage Summer Basics collection. I love this paper. This and the Prima papers, I can't stop buying them and using them. Almost every project I have uses them. And another item that I used was from Prima, the vintage trinkets. I used that to make the little clock here on the side. And I did the same thing with that, covering it with the gesso and then staining it with the stain that I had created myself. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up look. The nest that's inside my clock is a real bird's nest that was left over from a previous season, and I saved it. So let me just, in the pictures I just could not capture the nest at all. It was too dark inside, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to show it to you here. But it's such a gentle and sweet and soft little bird's nest. And the inside of the clock is embellished as well. But again, I couldn't capture them in the photos on my blog, so I'm hoping I can give you some idea of what it looks like. I covered it in papers and leaves and flowers. And the beautiful vintage image of the girl holding the bird, that was from a designer, Janet. She used to share her images for free on the internet, and she doesn't do it anymore. Apparently, people were abusing the privilege. They were using it and selling her images that she was sharing for free. So unfortunately, she's not doing it anymore, so it's really a loss for all of us. She's brilliant. I miss her. And you can kind of see the surface of the clock and that really old, kind of stained, distressed, battered look that it has. And then on the top I put a sentiment, a time to every purpose. And I'll just move it slowly over here, giving you a better look at the flowers and the branches that I put on the bottom. Bring them in a little bit closer. And these flowers are so fun to make. I have a really neat technique that I'm going to do a tutorial on. It's very fun and easy. I've been making flowers since 1980, back when I was still in high school. And I even made some of my own flowers to decorate my wedding cake, or around my wedding cake. And so this technique it's a throwback to the 80s and the way we used to do it then, only then we used silk leaves, and they used to sell all these things at Walmart, and they don't do that, or not Walmart, I think back then it was Kmart, and they don't do that anymore. So I had to kind of come up with my own ways of doing it, but it worked out. So I'm going to share that with y'all as soon as I can get that all together. So let me see if I can just kind of focus in on the clock a little bit. Well, I'm trying not to do this fast. I'm really, really trying to get better with my camera. There. Now maybe you can see the nest. I hope that you can. I love bird nests, and I I feed birds and I watch birds, and so it was a pleasure to have that little nest left over and be able to find a way to use it. And I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more because I have so many more projects. I feel like I'm going to flood YouTube over the next few days, so I guess I better pace myself. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.